Fifi finally joins us. You're welcome, my brother.
Mr. Tiasi.
What does Mr. Agbe got to do with
Mr. Tiasi, good morning.
Leave the old man alone.
But you know, have you learned something? That Mr. Agbebo will never close.
No, he never does that. I mean,
he's a veteran.
But you, these grown-ups living in this. You think Mr. Agbeko will get up in the morning and
lock the door
and go and open the gate for you to?
Mr. Agbeko, no, will not even do that.
Are you sheep? Are you sheep or goat?
Turn off the mic. Let me say something. Turn off the mic. Let me say.
All right, so
let's get into the transfer stories first before you look at the matches coming up. Exactly. And Sky Sports is reporting that Aston Villa have made an inquiry over the loan signing of Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford. Apparently, they want him to replace departing striker John Duan, who has joined Al Nassr for a £71 million move.
Has there been any response from Man United?
No, not yet. Not yet. No response from Man United at the moment. But a big story trending in the UK at the moment is that Aston Villa want Marcus Rashford to replace John Duan. So possibly he will stay in England. He will not go to Spain and join Barcelona. Okay. Now to the other stories, Bayern Munich forward Matthias Tel has rejected a move to Tottenham after the clubs had agreed a £50 million deal, according to Sky in Germany. The 19-year-old is now not ruling out staying at Bayern Munich after indicating he wanted to leave the German giants earlier this week. So possibly he will stay at Bayern Munich in there. Like I mentioned earlier, John Duran has joined Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr from Aston Villa in a deal that could be worth up to £71 million. So the 21-year-old will join new teammates Cristiano Ronaldo and Sadio Mane in Riyadh. Wow. Tottenham was in advanced talks to sign England defender Fikayo Tomori from AC Milan, and Chelsea, the Blues, have joined the race to sign Republic of Ireland striker Evan Ferguson, who is 20 years of age, from Brighton. The Guardian is reporting. So Chelsea want Evan Ferguson. Wow.
So let's just finish with the full stories. Then we'll be doing the discussion.
So I'm done with the transfers. Let's look at the matches coming up this weekend in the Premier League. First off, we have Nottingham Forest.
So, Mikel Arteta has still not been able to get
No, but he has been speaking about the transfer window. But it is not easy getting, your preferred striker in this current transfer window.
I'm not talking about preferred striker. I said, so he's still not gotten any striker.
But you say you don't want the Wolves striker. We gave you.
But this week, Aston Villa turned down your offer for Watkins.
Yeah.
So they've tried small.
So you are going to a club which is losing one of their prize assets in that department. Then you want to go for the second one. Then they will do what?
So you see,
to kill them.
That's a confirmation, and the striker that you prefer, you will not get him.
Yeah.
In this transfer window.
But Isak too is there.
You get it.
But
they will not get him.
Let's finish. Let's finish and then let's come back, please.
Okay.
Time here.
Now, to the.
Where's the you?
No.
Oh, but
2 days to the.
You see.
The close of the transfer window.
Now there are the UPL matches coming up today at 12:30 p.m. Nottingham Forest will be playing Brighton. We have Bournemouth versus Liverpool. That's a tricky game. Bournemouth, 12 games so far unbeaten. Their last 12 games, they are yet to be defeated. Bournemouth. Now Liverpool manager Arne Slot believes the game against Bournemouth will be a difficult one.
Yeah, it's a big one, and this is probably going to sound strange. And I knew this already when we played the second half against them in our home game. We were 3-0 up at half-time, and I was expecting a second half where we could just control the game, have the ball a bit, and hope maybe score the fourth one. But they just kept on going at us for 45 minutes, and that showed me the character of the team. And since then, they've been outstanding. They were before that game also, and he hired a fantastic manager as well.
And so that was Liverpool manager, champion coach Arne Slot speaking there. Now Everton will be playing Leicester City today at 3 p.m. Ipswich Town we're playing Southampton. We have Newcastle versus Fulham before Wolves take on Aston Villa at 5:30 p.m. today. Now tomorrow Brentford will be playing Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou is confident of turning things around with his squad.
Objectives that we need to really tackle. One is our league form. We need to kind of rectify that and improve that, and find some consistency in that. And then there's some fairly big opportunities over the next sort of month or so for us to make an impact in a couple of tournaments starting Thursday night. So I think that's where kind of my head's at the moment.
That was Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou speaking there. Man United will be playing Crystal Palace tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Old Trafford. United boss Ruben Amorim says he's focused on making his players happy as they play well whenever they are happy.
Sometimes plays and sometimes don't play is not comfortable. Maybe there is something to do with that. But I think the key point is the position. More happy to play. Simple as that. I don't look about just the movements, the way he touched the ball. I feel it just watching him. He was so happy on the pitch, and that is important for me because if they are happy, they play better.
Yeah, champion coach. Yeah, he's a champion. He beat Pep Guardiola.
He's showering praises on Garnacho
and Kobe Manu.
That he's happy. Boy,
he wants to make them happy because whenever players are happy, they play well.
Yeah,
is that not a fact?
Yeah.
If the players are happy, they will play well. So that's why Otuado is focused on making his players
are not happy. As for him, his players.
That's why he's focused on making them happy. You know,
okay.
He's touring Europe at the moment. He met John Mopogu.
Yeah, in Turkey.
Now to the biggest fixture of the weekend, tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. at the Emirates, we have Arsenal versus Manchester City. Now, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta says, listen, they are still exploring the market to see if they can bring in a player before the transfer window shuts. But on the game against City, they will try to be better on the day to beat them.
Well, I'm very confident with the work that the club is doing and exploring every single opportunity that we believe it can have an impact in the team. And if that's certainly the case and we can agree something, we will. And if not, we won't. The business is to try to be better than them, to beat them. That's it. And the only thing I review is what happened on that match. How competitive it gets is normal when two big teams want to win the game and nothing else from that side.
Champion coach Mikel Arteta speaking there. Now, Pep Guardiola was asked what he makes of fixture congestion. Pep Guardiola says he's used to it at the moment, so no problems at all for him when it comes to fixture congestion.
You have an incredible tight schedule because we're in all competitions. We're incredible, maybe fighting for the Premier League with the tough opponents involved in the quarterfinal, semi-final, champion opponents. So it's not a surprise. So it's what it is. I said it's not about complaining at all. I get rid of to think about that. Never ever. So we play in a good teams. Yes, absolutely not a problem. We know we're playing in Sunday or Thursday and Tuesday, but it happened for the last 9 years.
Yeah. Champion coach Pep Guardiola there for you. Now Chelsea will play West Ham United on Monday. Yes, Monday Night Football. Chelsea versus West Ham United at Stamford Bridge.
Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, Stamford Bridge.
The Stamford Bridge is now just like Old Trafford.
Why?
Chelsea
has a bad record at home this season. I'm just asking. The Chelsea fans are here.
But can't you see they are quiet?
So it's true, eh?
Oh, come on.
Okay. Chelsea versus West Ham.
Silence means
consent.
Do you know the coach? Do you know the coach for West Ham?
No.
Graham Potter.
It's easy peasy.
Potter, this Watson.
But it's not been bad for him.
But hey, Charlie, that's your man.
But you people have agreed with you people now.
Because he's your opponent now. Then let's go to Spain. Atletico Madrid will be playing Mallorca today at 5:30 p.m. before Espanyol welcome Real Madrid at 8 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow, Barcelona will be playing as host to Alaves at 1 p.m. before Betis take on Athletic Bilbao. To the Italian Serie A, Atalanta will be playing Torino. We have Juventus versus Empoli tomorrow. AC Milan in the biggest fixture of the weekend in Italy. We'll be playing against Inter Milan. Milan derby. Wow. AS Roma will be playing against Napoli in another big fixture in Italy. To the German Bundesliga, 2:30 p.m. today, we have Bayern Munich versus Holstein. Heidenheim FC will be playing Borussia Dortmund. And then Union Berlin will welcome Leipzig in there. Let's wrap up in the French Liga because today we have Brest versus PSG. Brest versus PSG. Brest versus PSG.
You want to behave like Micah Richards,
Brest versus PSG.
But
is Brest still there?
They brought him a very nice
Brest
jersey.
PSG.
Yeah.
I think the two clubs will also play the Champions League.
Yeah. They are paired together.
And we have Monaco versus Auxerre.
Okay.
But is Brazil still at Brest?
No.
Oh, okay. So Brazil has left Brest.
So it's a Brazil-less Brest.
Oh, okay.
Then it's a braless Brest. Anyway, okay. So Fifi, let me start with you. I don't know where you still want to start from here. Okay, so as you prepare, would you want to start?
No problem.
Fine, okay, so let me get to you.
So John Duran is gone for big money.
Yeah.
And the thing is that two people are going to benefit. Duran himself, I'm sure, in Saudi Arabia is going to pick a lot of money by way of wages at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And Aston Villa is also home and dry with £71 million. So that's big money for Aston Villa. So what they can do with the money is maybe to go on the market and get somebody, because as we speak now, they have only one striker there in Oli Watkins. Watkins, just like we're discussing, I'm not sure he will leave Aston Villa, given the fact that if you go to Villa now, they don't have a striker apart from him. They brought Donier Malen from Borussia Dortmund during the window, but he's just there, or they look at him as a replacement for Moussa Diaby. So he's not an out-and-out striker. He's just like a replacement for Moussa Diaby. So that's the situation. But if you look at John Duran, what has happened to my voice this morning?
Are you okay, my brother?
Yeah, my voice.
You need some hot water?
Hot water?
Yeah, that will help. Anyway.
Maybe you have to get some hot water.
We'll do that for you. Don't worry.
Okay, so he's very young and he's just 21. Well, normally in the Saudi league, players that leave for the Saudi league or leagues like that, maybe some years back we talk about the J League and things like that. There were players where almost down the ladder. I mean, they are declining. They go there to make some money and maybe use the popularity or their fame to just up their league a little bit. But you are looking at somebody who's there 21, join a league.
So is it just because of the money?
I'm sure it's because of the money, because
at age 21.
Yes, I'm sure it's because of the money.
Saudi Arabia.
I'm sure it's because of the money, because apart from that, I don't see it because he's a Colombian, so maybe his roots. I mean, go and check his background. Maybe he's not from some place where he has a lot of money, so he sees this as an opportunity. But he had a lot of cheaters in the Premier League and other so-called big leagues that we have in Europe. So he's 21, joined from Chicago Fire for £80 million in January 2023. So we are looking at somebody who joined for £80 million, being sold for £71 million.
They've made enough.
So Aston Villa have made a lot of profit from this guy. Yeah. And apart from the money, it's also been scoring some goals for them. He scored some goals for them. So
over 50 million they've made.
Yes, scored 12 goals in 29 games for Villa this season, and that's very impressive. Yeah. And 20 in 78 appearances, but only 7 of those have been league starts. So he starts the league. Normally, what Unai Emery does is that he comes on as a sub, so he doesn't normally start. But anytime he comes on to good effect. So they are making some very good money. Let's see what they use the money for. Then there's this issue of Chelsea too that I want to touch on briefly before I look at the other one or two other things. Okay. About the goalkeeping department at Chelsea. I remember.
You have a problem with Sanchez?
There's a problem. There's a big problem with Sanchez. And for Enzo Maresca, the manager, in an interview, I'm sure it's a pre-match interview, to have concluded that he's not taking any decision as who is going to keep the post for Chelsea in the next game that Chelsea will play against West Ham at Stamford Bridge. Tells a story, because this is a manager who some weeks back had said that Robert Sanchez is his first choice when it comes to the goalkeeping department. And when he's asked whether Sanchez is going to keep the post, he says it's a decision that he has not taken yet, and there's a possibility that maybe Jorgensen and the Jorgensen will come in and replace Sanchez. The thing about Sanchez is that he's making a lot of mistakes. I mean, truth be told, when he's in his element, he makes a lot of saves for Chelsea. But we can also overlook the mistakes that he makes. So if you look at the Premier League now, he's made a joint Premier League high of 5 mistakes leading to goals this season. Joint Premier League high, 5 mistakes that have led to goals this season. And listen to what Maresca said. He said that I don't think, when Maresca was asked whether Jorgensen is pressuring him to start another league game, having just had 2 league starts this season. He said, I don't think so, because the first time I spoke with Philip in June or July, I was clear that the number 1 choice was Robert. That's what he said. Okay. Then he went on to say, for sure, if the number 1 is Robert, and then because we have 2 good goalkeepers, we can make different decisions. This doesn't mean that Robert can make a mistake every game and is always going to play. So you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's this thing in Chelsea now, especially the technical department, where they're also looking at whether they can keep Sanchez in post at all times, make him number 1, despite the fact that he's making a lot of mistakes leading to goal, where they have Jorgensen also on the bench, who for me has been very good any time he plays for Chelsea, especially in the Conference League. He's been very a Chelsea goalkeeper in the Conference League. Okay. For me, he's been very good. So it's a decision that I think that you have to make. And apart from that, these 2 gentlemen that I've mentioned, Sanchez and Jorgensen, I'm also looking at the possibility that if Chelsea can also get some money they must get another quality goalkeeper. Yeah, they must get another quality goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We talked about the fact that the central defense has been a problem because if you have Wesley Fofana and the other guys who are not very consistent because of one injury or the other, and to the extent that you don't even have a central defensive partner. So if you go to Arsenal, your club, there's certainty when it comes. Yeah, certainty when it comes to the central defensive part. You find Saliba and Gabriel there. But in Chelsea's situation, it is Tosin today, it is Disasi, it is this, it is that. So that certainty is not there. So a goalkeeper, quality goalkeeper, one very good central defender, and there's also been talk about a striker to complement the efforts of Jackson.
All before the end of the transfer window.
That's what
Steve Zando presented to us.
Ferguson?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Evan Ferguson.
He doesn't need Ferguson. But he's young. I mean, it's true. He's young, 20 years, plays for Brighton and Hove Albion. But even at Brighton, how many times does he play for Brighton?
Okay.
He's a prospect, but I think that he's not up there yet for Chelsea. So we'll talk about the Champions League later. So let's
sure. Fee, yeah.
I'll start off from exactly where Javier finished. Javier, I think that the Evan Ferguson move will be good because maybe short term.
Short term as in
loan. You know, he got injured at Brighton. He was their star striker under Roberto De Zerbi. He got injured. Then João Pedro has come in and he's delivering consistently. He has returned from the injury and he doesn't seem to be able to be fit enough to unseat João Pedro. The new coach Fabian Hessler doesn't want to change anything up top because there's also Danny Welbeck there. So the club is looking for options for him. In fact, there are a lot of permanent move options outside of England. He wants to stay in England because he's Irish. And then they are open for loan moves. like Javier says.
Sorry.
What is happening today? The weather.
With Chelsea's problems, I don't think that Evan Ferguson solves it in the long term. I don't think he's that person.
But if we are looking at somebody who, even at Brighton and Hove Albion, is third in the ranking order.
Yeah.
You see, because you have João Pedro, just like you have Danny Welbeck before he comes. I mean, and look at the quality of Pedro and Danny Welbeck. And if he can unseat them, then I'm not sure he's
before his injuries,
so
he was the first striker under Roberto De Zerbi. He was the number one striker. In fact, at the time, he went in for some 6-8 game run where he was scoring it. They were saying that he's the Irish Haaland. People were talking about him left, right, center. So the prospect is there. And with respect to what Chelsea are looking for, Chelsea said, okay, fine. We are looking for a center forward who is big and bulky, different in terms of stature than Nicolas Jackson, who, when he gets into the box, will give us goals. You understand? And this is essentially the kind of striker that is hard to get on the market right now. I mean, Arsenal is struggling to get a striker, and they want such profiles. You watch the Chelsea versus Man City game. Essentially, City won the game with two things in their arsenal: a goalkeeper that can play pinpoint long balls to a center forward who is big, bulky, aggressive, such that your defenders may not be able to win duels. This thing, Arsenal have suffered it before. Even for the great Magalhaes and Saliba, when you have to battle Erling Haaland up top alone, it's a chore. So essentially, Maresca wants to get some level of dynamism in terms of his attack. If he can get someone like that, it means that it's not every time you have to play short and then narrates Robert Sanchez's brain deadness sometimes, because I think sometimes his brain just goes off. In that game against City, where are you going to? Who has called you? Where is he going?
You wonder how he came out. And, I mean,
where is he going to?
He just gave the goal away to Chelsea.
Like Javier was saying,
to City.
He will give you good moments. Some balls you come and claim it and save some ball. Then sometimes, in the times that you expect him to just do the basic thing, like against Wolves, it's a crowded penalty box. Every goalkeeper comes and punches it away. Robert Sanchez wanted to claim the ball. Who, in this modern age where Arsenal makes corner kicks like penalty kicks, who will allow you to claim a corner kick in a crowded penalty box? You'll not be allowed to do that. So I think that if Evan Ferguson can come in on a loan, short term, from now to the end of the season, and then Chelsea can use the summer to assess. Because if you listen to Anna Slot says the general transfer window is tricky. If you don't take care, almost everybody you buy is going to be nuisance by summer. Because these are players that clubs are offloading, players that are usually surplus to demand. Unless somebody like a Marmoush that City paid with good money Kosinov, good money, 60 million, 80 million. You are not ready to pay 60 million, 80 million in January. So you get only cramps to your team. So if you get Evan Ferguson to give the team different thing in terms of attack, fine, bring him in. Then you can get somebody rich. See, Robert Sanchez will be the end of Enzo Maresca if he doesn't drop him. Really? Seriously, they'll sack him if he doesn't drop him. Because how can a goalkeeper cost you 5 goals in one Premier League season? 5 goals.
The 16 it's not even ended.
Yeah, we've not even ended. We just got past the midway. 5 goals. And like Javier was saying, his tone has changed. So I'm also thinking that on Monday he will change.
He's had second thoughts.
Yes, I think that on Monday he has made his decision. He's just giving him a soft landing now.
But probably he's also making these pronouncements to, as it were, bring him to be
final
focused.
The final warning.
Yeah. So that he'll stay up on his feet because he's letting in some unpardonable ones.
You see, Javier was talking about third choice in Brighton and Hove Albion. Robert Sanchez was third choice in Brighton and Hove Albion. And Roberto is
but he's not giving us anything.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He was this one I agree with you.
Yeah.
He was demoted to third choice. We said, oh, this goalkeeper will be good for us. We brought him in. He hasn't been good. And I think that Arsenal, I loved what you guys did last weekend against Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Oh, okay.
1 man down. That's not a red card. I heard something this week that you guys were appealing. I mean, it was not a red card at all. And I like the fact that Arsenal were able to win.
Yeah, the Skelly one.
Yeah, Miles Lewis Skelly.
Has it not been overturned?
It's been overturned.
It's been overturned. That's
been
a good
overturned.
one.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. I heard something like that.
Oh, no, yeah, it's true. It's been overturned officially. Yeah, it's been overturned.
And I like the fact that Arsenal were able to fight back and get the win.
Yeah.
Because else Liverpool have taken the league away.
Yeah, sure.
Else, that's exactly what it is.
Okay. So there are some big matches coming up in England and in Italy. We have AC Milan versus Inter Milan. The Milan derby, and then we also have Arsenal at home playing against Man City. Let's start with the Italy one, Fifi, with AC Milan and Inter.
I mean,
it looks like Inter seems to be
very, very good form this season.
Better than AC Milan as we speak now.
They are one of the two teams in the. Just one of the only team in the Champions League this season, league phase, who didn't lose a single game.
Okay.
All of the games that they played, they either won or lost. I think they drew to Man City and one other draw as well. But every other game they won. And that's the way internationally Milan. AC Milan are in a little bit of difficult situation. They sacked Paulo Fonseca. Then they brought in Sergio Conceição. Conceição came in, won the Italian Supercoppa, then came back to the Italian Serie A, and he has been struggling. The last time out against Cagliari, they had to get a last-minute goal to get them out of it. And he had a brawl after the game with his captain, Gabbia. And it was something that was really reported all through Italy. The Inter team seems to be very good. But the last time out where there was Fonseca, they managed to beat Internazionale Milan in the first round of the competition. I think it's going to be tough, but I've always believed that when Inter are playing and they don't do almost anything wrong. And when you watch them, it's such a well-drilled team. A team that the centre-backs will pass the ball. They don't stand deeper. They follow the ball and go and follow the ball. So it's difficult for you to man-mark them. It's difficult for you to have a very good press structure against them. I mean, centre-back pair of Bastoni, sometimes you have Debre. And the likes of Matteo Damian have come up and they've rejuvenated their career. All throughout the Champions League phase, Jan Sommer was the best goalkeeper in terms of goal concessions. He was excellent in everything that he did. Barella, Mkhitaryan, and Hakan Çalhanoğlu in the middle of the park have also been solid. And sometimes DiMarco will play as a fullback. But he's also a trigger to keep the weight when the team has to push very high and wide up top for them to create some chances on the other side. So for me, I think that Inter are huge favorites to go in and win this one day.
Okay, so that'll be the Derby della Madonnina.
Yeah. The thing about Inter is that when it comes to keeping their players, I think that they've been very successful at that. Yeah. Because if you go back to look at the Champions League final that they played against City, most of the players that played in that final are still around.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, if you have, you mentioned DiMarco, Bastoni, Mkhitaryan, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, all those guys are still around. And you're a former player.
Mkhitaryan.
But was he not good at that?
No, he didn't add anything to that team. Yeah. You go to the preview, don't worry. Let's talk about the game.
and they also have a manager. And then Inzaghi, who has also been around for some time. Yeah. The AC Milan team is bringing in some fresh guys. They brought in a lot of fresh guys, and for me, their team has not been able to. They've not been able to achieve some form of stability in terms of the players that they have, and even at their managerial level
as compared to
Inter Milan. And if you look at the way Inter Milan is playing now, I think that they are challenging Napoli. Yeah. Napoli for the title.
Have one game in hand.
Yeah, they are challenging Napoli for the title. So, on paper, I think that Inter Milan will start because your man is still scoring the goals. Like Martinez is still scoring the goals. I don't know why.
We have to go. Ateta should go there and go and bring that boy to the APL. He will do wonders.
But do you have money? Do you have the money for that?
They should have. They have it. They should do it. Let's quickly do the City Arsenal preview, and then now let's talk about the Champions League a bit. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if City are meeting Arsenal at the right time. If we are Pep and look at the way your team has played in recent times, and you look at the way Arsenal, of course. Arsenal,
have you been impressed with Arsenal?
That's what I was coming to. Yeah. Arsenal have also had their issues here and there, but I mean, if we put the two teams on the scale, I think that in terms of the one that has been very consistent, I think that Arsenal will be ahead of City. But City of late are gradually picking up. So some of the injured players have come. The lack of concentration and how low their spirits were some weeks back, it's gradually becoming a thing of the past. So you have Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, all those guys. So they are not up there yet. I mean, if you go back to about 2 or 3 seasons ago, like the way they used to play, but at least you can see some improvement the way they played. I don't know if because Pep's issues are also resolved now, and then they brought some finality to his personal issues. That's why maybe he's been able to get the full concentration to bring about that transformation that I'm seeing in the City team. So they are a changed side. Chelsea played against them, and I saw some improvement in the way I'm talking about City, the way they played.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, there's an improvement. And against Arsenal, for me, it is going to be very difficult for City. Because this is an Arsenal team that also, just like Fifi said, won their last game with them and later on in 10-10-10, but Arsenal won it anyway. And the only team in the Premier League now that I see giving Liverpool a run for their money is Arsenal. I mean, they have shown, sometimes not being very consistent, that they are the only team. And they know that the only assurance that they can get, that they can challenge Liverpool for the title, is to try as much as possible to beat City. And for me, they have the men to do that. Okay. Because almost all the players are around for Arsenal, and I've seen the way they played, especially in matches against City. I mean, it's more or less like a master versus apprentice. But whenever Mikel Arteta meets Manchester City, Arsenal plays very well. Arsenal has a team that I think can hurt City. Okay. But City's maybe their best out of this game will be just to pick a draw from Arsenal. But I think that Arsenal will start favorite.
All right, so the match is coming up tomorrow. It's going to be played at the Emirates. Arsenal versus Man City. It's going to be a difficult one, though. Arsenal, yes, might be on form as compared to City, but City with the likes of Haaland and the new boys that have come in, we just have to be careful at the back. We have to be extra careful, and then find out whether we are able to.
But Arsenal, do you have a problem at the back?
No, really, we don't anyway. But I said we have to be careful because Charlie Haaland, he's a load. He's a load.
I know. But Gabriel can take care of him.
He should. But it's a tricky game for me, so I don't. I really don't want to stick my neck out. It could be anything at all, but I think that whether we like it or not, Arsenal will be starting slightly as favourites ahead of Man City.
I actually think Arsenal beat Man City at the Emirates. I mean, after last season when you guys have not been there for a very long time, then you did. I think for me, Arsenal have broken themselves away from the shackles of Manchester City. At the beginning of the project, you remember that 6 something or 7 something at Etihad consistently. City were beating Arsenal left, right, centre. But Arsenal has built a team now that can beat City. And yesterday, if you even listened to Enzo Maresca, he was saying there are 2 ways of playing City. Either you sit deep and then you allow them to come at you and catch them on the break, or you are brave and you press. Arsenal can mix it up. If they have to press, they'll press. If they have to defend, they can defend. I think Arsenal is the best team that will probably hold City. And Chelsea fans need it.
Okay.
We need Arsenal to do it, so that we can do it tomorrow, Monday, against West Ham, and come back to top 4.
You're still thinking of the top 4, eh?
We have to make top 4 this
season. The top 4 race is going to be very, very hot and tight. Yeah.
Not there for us. They should drop quick, and they will drop. Dropping them with me.
Which thing?
Not them.
Oh, they'll drop. Nottingham Forest will drop.
They've started. I mean, they've
Oh,
already.
they'll drop. Yeah, but I told
coming
you
down.
some weeks back that Nottingham Forest definitely will
They're
drop.
coming
So
down. Yeah.
it's going to be a straight fight between top four. We are looking at Liverpool, Arsenal.
Newcastle.
No, I'm not even looking at Newcastle. I'm looking at Liverpool. I'm looking at Arsenal. I still think City can make top four.
Man City, yeah.
And Chelsea.
And Chelsea, that's what I'm looking at. I still think
Newcastle.
I still think that
Maybe Newcastle is the one that is the team that can worry Chelsea. Or something. Yeah. Because Newcastle, I think that they're also a very, very good team in terms of.
I'm not sure they can
the
make
good
top four.
part is that now, last season, England lost out on the extra slot in the Champions League. This season, there is about 99% chance because
They'll get it back.
Man City, Manchester United, even were unbeaten in the Europa League. Chelsea were also unbeaten, all games won. In the Champions League, all of the teams went through, including Aston Villa. So once those teams do well, it means that they can get a fifth spot as well.
Quickly on the Champions League, the format when it started, many of us were talking against it, but the way it's going, it looks like I have honestly eaten humble pie.
Yeah.
I think that it's brought some excitement, and the big ones, some will be falling along the line. Because we are not going to see either Real Madrid or City in the round of 16.
There's this proverb they say out of something comes something, out of adversity comes something. Like when times are hard, sometimes, because all of these things came because the what's the name? The Super League guys were pushing UEFA. That we want money, you are not giving us money. They broke it down. They said that we play against Brest, we'll share the same money. Madrid will play against Brest, Madrid will share the same money with Brest. So they want some teams who are big to play against themselves more because those are big matches. They'll get more money from TV revenue, and they can also get money from gate proceeds. So the champions, the UEFA people sat down and said that, you know what, yes, we'll sanction these guys, yes, we'll not allow them to go through their points, but then their idea makes a lot of sense. Let's pick the building block of the ideas and let's change ours. They sat down, they say, you know what, let's make the teams many, and we'll go into a league phase where Paris Saint-Germain in one season has played Man City, has played Bayern, has played almost every big team that you think of. Real Madrid has played AC Milan. Gone are the days, you're going to see this match at the earliest in the quarterfinals. Man City have played Inter. They have played Paris Saint-Germain. They have played some very tough games this season. You take somebody like Barcelona, play some tough matches. So we've seen some exciting matches that have come through. And that means that most of the big matches have been played. For us fans, we are excited to watch. It means that we are going to buy a lot more the commodity that we love to see. Then that means that there's going to be extra revenue to the clubs. That also means that gate proceeds will increase because every Barca fan would want to see a Barca versus Man City rather than a Barca versus Getafe. They see a Barca Getafe every week in the Spanish La Liga. They would want more. So for me, it has been exciting. The brain behind it was also smart in eschewing their ego and then making sure that they learn from the Super League people and then reinvent this. And we are even up for more mouth-watering matches coming up. Man City is going to face Real Madrid in a playoff, not round of 16, playoff. Before we go to round of 16, before we go to quarterfinal, before we go to semi-final, before we get to the final. So it means that Man City, Real Madrid, one of them, that's the end of the journey for them. And winner of that pair has a chance of meeting either of Liverpool in that stretch as well.
Barca.
Yeah, or Barca in that stretch as well. So it tells you how not easy that one is. I mean, the people in France know how Brest have been this season. They are going to watch Paris Saint-Germain versus Brest. It's a big one in France. They would enjoy that one. You go to the other side, and these are playoffs. We are going to get Sporting CP versus Dortmund. These are like middleweight people, but they will battle it out. The winner would have to go in there. You look at Monaco versus Benfica. Winner of that will have the possibility of meeting either Barca or Liverpool in the round of 16. When Juventus are able to beat PSV in the round of 16, they come and meet Inter or Arsenal. It's not easy at all. So it's an exciting competition, and I think that it is good that they show their ego. Because
Alexander Shefferin.
He
stood his ground.
He did well. But he didn't stand his ground foolishly. Like, sometimes the machoism, somebody say, I have power, so even what the person is saying makes sense, they don't listen. He knew that there was sense, and then he took it.
All right, so let's activate the phone lines now. 03220-83596, 83597. 03220-83596, 83597. Let's get talking now. Arsenal are playing City tomorrow. We have Fulham playing Chelsea on Monday. But then Man United are also playing against Crystal Palace. There is also the Italy derby, the Derby della Madonnina, also coming up. We've also spoken about some transfer issues in here. 03220-83596, 83597. Let's get talking now. 03220-83596, 83597. 03220-83596, 83597. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Dada.
Yes, sir. Prophet, let's hear you.
I think Arsenal will beat Man City tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Thank you. He says that he thinks that Arsenal will beat Man City tomorrow. 03220-83596, 83597. 03220-83596, 83597. Let's hear your thoughts now quickly on the issues that we discussed on the first part of the show. You can also send us your messages on our Facebook page, Love 99.5 FM. 03220-83596, 83597. We are what? Oh, come on.